Salutations, welcome to another episode of Foxx Plays KSP, the 365-day challenge, the reboot. So, we are now in Mission Block 4, and our first launch was yesterday, and we launched the Tiangong 1 space station, built from some Tantares parts and some other things. So today we're going to launch a Shenzhou spacecraft, meant to replicate Shenzhou 8, which was the first, I believe it was the first docking of Chinese spacecraft? That doesn't sound right. I think some of the earlier Shenzhous did a docking with each other. I'll have to look that up, but yeah, it was the first spacecraft to dock with Tiangong, and it was a robotic craft, just to kind of prove that it could be done. Anyway, that's going to be our launch today, so I'll see you on the launch pad. Alrighty, so here we have our Long March 2F approximation. Oh, lag spike there, sorry about that. Yeah, my Long March 2 is, I kind of keep changing it. It kind of keeps not being quite what I want it to look like. But anyway, let's throttle up, SAS on. Once again, this is a robotic craft, so no Kerbals. Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Lift off! Oh yeah. And some crazy thrust to weight ratio going on, so we're just going up like a rocket. Yeah. You probably wouldn't get it. So yeah, I think I may have changed my mind about the whole Chinese space program thing. Because I just did a kind of just for the looks space station build with the Near space station in Mission Block 3, and I don't really feel up to doing that again for Mission Block 4. I just did it. If I build another space station, I want it to be because I need a space station that's useful and does things. Not just a space station just to look like a real one. I'll probably still build it, but it might not be the very next thing I do. I don't know what's going on here. But yeah, so I think I might just start playing around with the Tantares parts, especially because they're all new. All just got updated. There are a couple new additions that make me want to just go play with them. So I'm probably going to do that. I'm probably going to build some kind of useful space station, or propellant depot or something. And I also want to play with the stock-like station parts expansion, just because that's an awesome parts pack. So I'll probably build kind of like a alternate timeline ISS, and I'll use like the Tantares parts to replicate one nation's contribution, and use the stock-like station parts for a different nation, and I don't know. We'll see. There's a bunch of things that I could do, and I think I do think that I want Mission Block 4 to start shying away from just kind of pre-built things. I want to express my creativity. That's kind of why I started this whole, YouTube thing, the KSP thing. So I think that's how I'm gonna play it. But anyway, we are getting to the point where we're gonna start throttling up. I have uninstalled Deadly Reentry, just because it didn't work properly. Like, all the things that I didn't want to burn up, burned up, and none of the things that I wanted to burn up, burned up. It was very, very disappointing. So, meh. It just didn't do it for me. It didn't add anything to the game, I felt, so. I'm not saying that it's not for everyone. It's certainly floats some people's boats, just not mine. I might play with FAR at some point. Again, for me, it doesn't add all that much to the game. It doesn't, add to the ambience, the feeling of the game that much. I'm okay with the current atmospheric model. I mean, the thing is, who says this is air? There's nothing that says that this has to be, oxygen, nitrogen mix. It can be anything. It could be made of much heavier elements. There we go. Our strap-on booster cut off. There we go. Now we're going to go to 100% throttle on our sustainer for our sustainer period. Going to start pointing down a little bit. I do like doing the whole launch from surface to orbit with when I create a new vehicle. Like when I'm using a new launch vehicle, I like to do it. But that's why I started to cut short the Tantares lift vehicle, like the just Tantares missions and the Allen Air lift vehicle, ALV-2 lift vehicles, basically the Soyuz rocket and the Proton, is because I already did a bunch of launches of them, and you saw that they worked, and you saw those launches. So, and if you hadn't, you should go back and you should watch the videos. But apart from that, it does get kind of repetitive. The other thing that I want to do is with Mission Block 4 is I want to start going back to the moons, because I haven't done a lunar mission in Mission Block 2? Mission Block 2, what was Mission Block? I can't remember. Anyway, but yeah, I think it's time to revisit multiple body travel, going to the moon or Minmus. Where is it? Where's the moon? It's not here. Minmus has got to be around here somewhere. Or maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Anyway, we can clearly into space at this point. Just going to do our roll. And jettison fairing. Alright. And hit 1 for to deploy all of our stuff. And this being the earlier Shenzhou, it has the additional solar panels up the top on the orbital module. The later modules, the manned module or the manned spacecraft, didn't have this second set of panels, but it does lead to something really interesting. Is that these early models, these early orbital modules, could be used as separate orbiters. What they do is they dump this stage, or they dump this orbital module in an orbit, and then basically descend with the rest of the spacecraft. And what this meant was that this had a docking port, and so if you wanted to, you could actually send up another spacecraft and dock with it and use it as kind of like an extension. And that was a design feature. It was never used, but it could do it. Anyway, and there's our updated curse dish. It's not actually curse on the Chinese spacecraft, and it's a little small for the Chinese spacecraft. I really should have used the Communitron 88, I think, the fold-out dish. But anyway, I will see you again when we're ready to rendezvous with Tiangong 1. Okay, here we are, catching up with our target, Tiangong 1. We got about 2 minutes, but we're under time acceleration. Alright, and we need a 320 delta V burn in order to match velocity. Give or take. Oh. We left it until quite late. Zoom! Okay, so we're now well within range to begin docking procedures. Alright, we're going to bring up our docking computer. We're going to bring things around here. Really? Here, okay. Interesting. So you need to get under it. That's not feasible. Need to point retrograde. We're going to time accelerate slightly. Just so that we don't have to work too hard. We're trading time for fuel. Time for economy. Usually a worthwhile trade in KSP. Alright, and nulling out our velocity now. Alright, and now is a good time for us to there we go. Swing around, get ourselves lined up. So much faster when it's not near that we're docking to. That lag got pretty horrendous. I think it's... yeah, we'll dock this way. That's fine. So our roll is 180. RCS on, and we're going to back away from the station. Or we're going to move relative to our vessel backwards, so that the station becomes in front of us relative to our vessel. Right, and we're also going to start our translation, just because it's going to take a while. Alright, we've switched to being in front of the vessel, so we're going to just slow our... and we're just going to our translation got a little overzealous. One little RCS jet kicking us over. Still lined up pretty well. And we may have gotten a bit overzealous with our this direction of translation as well. Yep, we did. And we're almost lined up. Alright, and we're going to turn RCS off just because we need to alright, and RCS on, thrust forward. It's going to come in at 0.22 meters a second. Seems reasonable to me. So an interesting thing about the Tiangong stations, which I might actually utilize, because it's a nice little design when you look at it. It's large, but not overly large, and I think you could, in that form factor, you could get a lot of work out of it. Is that the Chinese plan on using the basic design of the Tiangong one to convert it into a robotic resupply craft for their later stations. All right, and we just need to do a last-minute translation. All right, and there we are, docked. There we are. Woohoo! All right, so we have successfully managed a orbital complex. Look at that. Tiangong 1 and Shenzhou 8, or Shenzhou, something. Anyway, one way or the other, I have been Fox. This has been KSP with the updated Tantares Mod Pack. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Take care.